Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. Alright, today exercise we're going to discuss about ATS schematic for two power source and the remote control. Our previous exercise we discussed about ATS and the operation sequence of ATS. Let me display the previous design. This is the previous design we had. So I explained the operation sequence of this. Now this time we are going to edit this logic and add more features so that you can control your ATS with a remote and also control with a timer function. Okay. Um, the essence of that is because the operation sequence of this is that this particular main supply is our master power source, and this is a slave power source. So when this particular one is not available, then the standby power will take over. Then, supposing the standby power, I want to put a limitation to the operation duration. Maybe I don't have a sufficient AGO or a sufficient fuel to run the particular the genset. So what I will do is to put a timer that I need this genset to operate for 3 hours and shut down, or I want it to operate for 4 hours and shut down. So in that case, you're going to incorporate the logic with a timer. So if you want to also go to bed while the gen is running, you can also put a timer and they put the instruction that the gen should shut down when it is expected time, all right? Or when the particular time elapsed, it should shut down. So because of that, I now incorporated a timer function to this other standby supply. I also added a remote control so that when the gen is working and you want to shut it down by yourself, you can also use a remote control. You just press the button and the gen will shut down. Okay, so that is the two features we just added to this logic. So the new logic is this one. Let me show us that particular new one now. Um, okay, this is the previous one. So let me now minimize this. Yeah, so this is the one we added two features. All right. So let me walk you through the one we added. Now this one we added this is the sorry, pardon me for the change. Remember that this is the previous one. This is the standby and this is the main supply, and this particular portion now is our remote start. That is start signal that will communicate with the genset with the ATS. So this is the means in which the ATS communicate with the genset. All right. So the DG remote start is the start signal you link from your ATS to your genset. That is to start and to stop. So this area now is the start and stop signal that will link between the ATS and the genset. Okay, so that is this portion. Now, what I did, because of the space factor here, I don't have enough space here. So what I did was to change this area. What I did was to change this, take away this portion that was here before. I take it away because of tight space factor. So I remove this one. I now change the logic to this form. All right, this is the mains, this is the gen supply standby, and this is my load. So this particular logic here, this particular symbol, this schematic now represent this entire logic here, the power circuit. Okay, so that the space will be enough to add these other fixtures. All right, so whenever this one come up and this one come up, please be looking at this. This is the contactor in question. This one closes to signify the operation of this. This one also closes to indicate that this one is in operation. So this is the load, whichever one that closes. All right, so this is our power circuit for the ATS. Okay, that is for this new particular one we just added. Then that one is replacing this. Okay, then this particular portion that I said is the remote control, the communication between the ATS and the genset, is this particular one now. Then take a look at this place. I have emergency stop here. I have switch, selector switch. I also have contactor here for interlock to disable, that is from the mains, to disable the starting signal. So what I added here now was this remote function and this timer function. So if I want to shut down the gen with remote, when the power source, remember that before the gen shut down, it is subject to the availability of this mains. So when the mains is not forthcoming, it's not coming up, and my gen is still running, so what I do is to use my remote my disposal and I press the button on my remote, the gen can shut down at a distance of 100 meters. The gen will be situated 100 meters distance. So I can press the remote to shut down. So here we open to shut down. So when this one opens simultaneously, there is also a remote here. Look at it. This arrow empty is the remote. This one and this one is the remote relay. There is a relay. You must integrate a relay for the remote to communicate with this. All right. Yes. So once you press the remote, this coil will be energized. Then this bit, this particular contact belongs to this, and this another second contact belonging to that same relay remote. So here we open and here we open, and the system shut down, the genset shut down. Okay. Then if I want to put up timer that will time the duration of shutdown, I will now come to activate this particular switch. All right. So this is another three function. Three function. Take away this, or let's minimize this. All right. Let me explain in full detail the operation sequence of this. When this one is running, all right. Now, this one will shut down. That is conventional method of that. Then when this one is not available, that is the mains, then the standby will come up. When the standby is running and I want to shut the gen down at a specific period, so what I need to do is to activate my timer. This particular logic will activate this timer. So here is to press by the remote. Okay, when you press the button, I just represent. Let me see if I can find the remote itself. Okay, I don't have the 3D here. All right, so now this button here is your remote. You have the remote. Let me show you the pictorial view of the remote. Now look at the remote here. You have button here. So each of these button will represent how many channel you want to control. Like this is the module, the relay module. This one is 4 channel. There is 4 button. Button A control this relay. Button B control second relay. So 4 button for 4 relays irrespective of the sequence. Now if I want to control 4 items or 4 equipment using relay, so I'll connect them into one of these remote. Okay, I'll connect them across each of these remote. Now, in this particular area now, I want to reuse this remote to control my genset. So I'm using one of the relay to control this. So this button will represent the button of this. When I press this button, it's as good as pressing here. The signal go to this place. Okay, signal go to the relay, and the contact of this relay will open, and contact of this second one will open. So genset will shut down. Then if I want to use timer to shut it down as well, that is the second option. What I will do, I will not press this relay. I will just press this button to send power to my timer relay, and timer start counting. Timer can be set, the preset time can be 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on the duration you want the gen to operate. Once it is that preset time, the system shut down. So once you activate this particular timer, there is also a contact here. Look at the contact of this timer and this another contact. This contact shut down the remote start, and this other contact shut down the contactor. The same way with the remote. This remote shut down this one and also shut down contactor. Just a quick one, take note about this. Once it shut down the contactor and also shut down the remote start, the genset is expected to run for cooldown duration. That particular function is embedded in the control system, the control panel of that genset. When you shut down a generator, it will not shut down immediately. It will wait for at least hold on for cooldown duration of 3 minutes, depending on the configuration of the control panel. But if the control panel does not have the function of cooldown duration, you now incorporate another relay here that will cool down finally before the genset shut down. Okay, let me repeat again. The control panel that is going to communicate with this cable, with this particular logic, is expected to have cooldown duration of 3 minutes. That means each time I operate any of this one to cut off the remote signal or to cut off the start genset to shut down and also shut down the contactor, the genset will still be running for 3 minutes. That is to cool down the speed to stabilize the moving machineries before finally it shut down. That same minute is also applicable when the genset is put on, when it started, when the genset come up.